Hello, welcome to Board with Paint. Today we'll be continuing our painting tutorial series for Batman the Animated Series, Shadow of the Bat. In this video we'll be kicking off the painting of the villains with Man-Bat. Just as in the previous videos of this series, we'll be going for a look that mimics the style of the animated series itself and the game artwork. After priming the miniature entirely in white, we'll start off with some Vallejo Model Air Khaki from the airbrush. This will let us quickly get a nice smooth coat over all of those wide flat areas of wings. Next we'll use some Screaming Skull and we'll paint in the eyes. Painting the eyes early on like this makes it easier to fix if you make a mistake. And while we're on the face, I'm going to fill in the inside of the mouth using Screamer Pink. Now I'm painting in the teeth using an Offwhite from Vallejo Model Color. I went back in after this and cleaned things up with the Screamer Pink. And here's how he looks with the eyes and mouth complete. Now for the main area of the skin, I'm using English Uniform, and this will cover the main body and everything except the stretched skin of the wings. Just as in previous videos, we're trying to go for a good solid coat, so you may need multiple coats to get even coverage. As we paint up the arms, we're careful to keep off of the stretched skin membrane of the wing. Here you can see me using the side of the brush to pick out this raised area at the edge of the wing. Now I'm just moving down to his lower legs and feet. As we go back up to Man-Bat's head, we want to stay away from the inside part of the ears. This is going to stay the khaki color that we put on initially. If you went a little too far when painting your eyes, you can clean that up now with the English Uniform. Now I've pulled out a smaller brush and I'm going to be carefully painting in the finger parts of the wings. That would be everything except the stretched skin area. These fingers, as I'm calling them, are on both the back and front of the wings. I'm only going to show you one of them here, since the process is exactly the same. And here he is with all of the skin painted and all of those little fingers filled in. Now I'm mixing up a blue for his pants, using some Ahriman Blue from Citadel, and lightening it slightly with some Hellbound Flesh from Scalecolor. This is a pretty straightforward process, just painting in the pants. I had to do a couple of coats to get nice coverage though. It takes a lot of work to make these videos, so if you don't mind going down and subscribing to my channel and liking this video to help support the channel and allow me to bring you more content like this. And here we are with all the base colors done. Now, to really bring home the animated style, we're going to add dark black lines around everything. I'm using Decay Black from Scalecolor mixed with a little bit of flow enhancer so that the paint comes nicely off the brush and I can draw thin lines with it. If you want to see more on this, take a look at some of the previous videos in the series. I'll put a link up in the corner. If you've done more realistic miniature painting before, a rule of thumb that I am using for where to put the black lines is basically anywhere that I might apply a wash or deepen the shadows. I also reference the game artwork and images from the animated series to help out. Here I'm adding dark lines in the recesses in the pants and to emphasize any of the little ripples of fabric. Here's a look with the lining on the lower half complete. We want to make sure that we put a dark line where the skin and the pants meet to add some separation between those elements of the miniature. And now I'm emphasizing some of the muscles by adding lines between them in the recesses. Now the most tedious part of this miniature is painting the dark lines between the segments of the wings. My best advice for you here is to just go slow and take your time. And if you make a mistake, go in with the base color and try to clean it up. You could reasonably skip this part, but I do think the dark line really adds a lot to the character of the miniature. But it still looks pretty good without it. Somebody has suggested in the comments of one of my previous videos that I use a micron pen for painting in these dark lines. While I have used a micron pen before, usually for eyes or other small details, I did try it with this, but I found that I had more control over the thickness of the line using a brush. But if you like the results you're getting using a micron pen, then by all means do it that way. You get the idea. Here's a look at Man-Bat with the dark lining complete on the wings. Now we'll move on to his shoulders and head. For the little tufts of hair that are sculpted on the miniature, I'm just putting small lines underneath them to accentuate them. For the inside of the ears, I'm doing a series of half circles. Just take a look at the game artwork to see where to put these. This part's optional because it can be tough to get right, but I'm going in now and dark lining around the inside of the mouth and the inside of the eyes just to add some extra emphasis. I'm also outlining the teeth. And here we'll hit some more of the facial details, like the ridges on the brow between the eyes and the nostrils. This is the first step of doing the dark lining. The second step is going in and touching up all the areas where you either got out of place or you made the lines too thick. Here is a time lapse of me fixing all of the areas that I messed up. And full disclosure here, I do this on every miniature that I paint, not just Man-Bat. I just didn't film it for every one of them. Once everything's looking nice and clean, we'll paint the base with black gray. This is the color I'm using for any of the characters in the game that are unaffiliated. Some people choose to do more with their bases and add fake rocks and plants and scenery and do sort of a mini diorama that the miniature stands on. I find that usually takes me too long and I'm not that good at it, so I opt usually to just paint my bases. And finally, we use pure black to go around the rim of the base, just to give it a finished look. And here we have the completed Man-Bat. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel and like the video. That support goes a long way towards helping me to bring you more content like this. If you're interested in seeing a preview of what I might be doing next, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as Bored with Paint. And if you have any questions or feedback, leave them down in the comments below. And of course, until next time, happy painting.